Hi everybody. Today we're going to be reading a story out of the book Days with Frog and Toad. And they're carrying their kite there, so we're going to see what our story is going to be about this week. Here is our context clue cards, the words we need to know for this week. Our first word is second. The boy is trying to tie his second sneaker. You are going to be in the second grade next year. And number 2 is ball. She practiced until she could hit the ball well. Over here it asks us to use 2 of the blue words in the same complete sentence. Think for a second. Can you use the word second and the word ball in the same complete sentence? How about if we said, she hit the ball the second time she tried it? That'd be a good sentence with both of those in the same sentence. Good to practice some longer sentences. Okay, word number 3, across. The runners dashed across the finish line. Dashed, they ran really fast. Looks like the little girl in the front with the jersey is about to break across the line. Number 4, head. He hit the ball with his head trying to make a goal. He's playing soccer. A lot of you love that sport. Number 5, heard. The children heard the clapping at the end. Looks like they were giving a musical concert and now they're bowing. Number 4, large. It was not too hard to ride up the large hill. I bet they've been practicing a lot. You can't ride up a large hill the first time you try. Number 7, cried. Doesn't look like they're unhappy. What kind of cry does this mean? We can do it, cried the team. Oh, so it's not like a baby crying when they get upset or when you get hurt. It's like you're excited and you're talking really loudly. You're crying out. And number 8, should. The teacher said that she should try again. The more you try, the more you practice, the better you get, just like reading. All right. This time, we're going to be looking at our target skill. It says story structure. A story has different parts. Characters are the people and animals in the story. The setting is when and where a story takes place. And the plot tells about the problem the characters have and how they solve it. So we're going to use a story map to tell about the characters, setting, and plot. And we'll do that after we finish reading the story. Also, we're going to stop and infer. We're going to use evidence to figure out more about the story and think about what might happen next. Okay. Are previewing the topic, weather. Weather can cause problems. Storms can damage homes. Too much rain can lead to floods. The weather can also help us. Rain helps grow crops. Weather helps us fly kites. You will find out how the wind helps Frog and Toad in the Kite. And if you want to, you have the book. If you want to go back and answer these questions, what are some ways the weather helps us? Think about it. You can complete the sentence. 3 sentences. The weather helps us, blank. The weather's helping that little girl fly a kite. The weather doesn't help us be able to play outside when it's raining, maybe. And blank is better than blank. So let's see. Some people think sun is better than rain. Other people might think rain is better than sun. Or maybe you like snow. Snow is better than sun. Lots of different answers on that one. All right. Our genre this week, remember that's what kind of story is it? A fantasy story could not happen in real life. As you read, look for events that could not really happen. Animals who talk and act like people. We already see Frog and Toad as our main characters. We know that frogs and toads don't wear clothes or go flying kites. Here's our author and illustrator, Arnold Lobel. Arnold Lobel drew many animals before he came up with the Frog and Toad characters. During vacations with his family in Vermont, Mr. Lobel watched his children play with frogs and toads. Soon the animals were starring in his books. I love these characters. This one is called The Kite, from Days with Frog and Toad. Look, there they are up in the tree reading their books. Our essential question, how can weather change your day? Before we even go on, let's think about school. Were there times that weather changed our day? We came to school thinking that we were going to get to eat lunch outside or go outside for recess, and all of a sudden it got too hot or it got too rainy, and all of a sudden the weather changed our day. The kite. There's Frog and Toad. They're carrying their kite up. You can already tell it's a windy day because the plants are blowing. Frog and Toad went out to fly a kite. They went to a large meadow where the wind was strong. A meadow is a place that just has a lot of grass, maybe a few trees, but not too many. Our kite will fly up and up, said Frog. It will fly all the way up to the top of the sky. Toad, said Frog, I will hold the ball of string. You hold the kite and run. Right, so they're going to work together as a team. Toad ran across the meadow. He ran as fast as his short legs could carry him. The kite went up in the air, and then it fell to the ground with a bump. Toad heard laughter. 3 robins were sitting in a bush. Look, they're laughing and they're pointing at Toad. That doesn't look very nice. That kite will not fly, said the robins. You may as well give up. Toad ran back to Frog. Frog, said Toad, this kite will not fly. I give up. So looking at our story structure, what is the problem that Frog and Toad are having right now? They're looking, will the kite fly? Okay, and we also want to predict. Let's see. Do you think they're going to keep trying, or do you think they're going to give up? We must make a second try, said Frog. Wave the kite over your head. Perhaps that will make it fly. So now they're going to try something else. Toad ran back across the meadow. He waved the kite over his head. The kite went up in the air, and then it fell down with a thud. What a joke, said the robins. That kite will never get off the ground. Toad's listening to them, and he runs back to Frog. Toad ran back to Frog. This kite is a joke, he said. It will never get off the ground. Does Toad have much confidence? Is he having a growth mindset, knowing that if you just keep trying, you can make things work? Wave the kite over your head and jump up and down. Perhaps that will make it fly. Frog just keeps coming up with more ideas. Toad ran across the meadow again. He waved the kite over his head. He jumped up and down. The kite went up in the air and crashed down to the grass. That kite is junk, said the robins. Throw it away and go home. Toad ran back to Frog. This kite is junk, he said. I think we should throw it away and go home. Should, there's one of our words. The robins are laughing. What do you think that Frog is going to do? We can predict. What do we think? What has Frog done the other times when Toad has come back and said they should give up? Toad, said Frog, we need one more try. Wave the kite over your head. Jump up and down and shout, up, kite, up. Toad ran across the meadow. He waved the kite over his head. He jumped up and down. He shouted, up, kite, up. Do you think the kite's going to fly this time? Think I'm seeing some yeses and some nos. The kite flew into the air. It climbed higher and higher. We did it, cried Toad. There's that word, cried. Is he sad there? Is it that kind of crying? Or is he really excited because his kite's finally up in the air? Look at how the robins look. The robins look shocked. Yes, said Frog, if a running try did not work, and a running and waving try did not work, and a running, waving, and jumping try did not work, I knew that a running, waving, jumping, and shouting try just had to work. He kept coming up with new ideas. Just like we want to try every time we're not sure if something's going to work, we try it. If it doesn't work, we come up with different ideas. All right. So now we are going to look at our characters. First we have our characters, Frog and Toad and the 3 robins. So let's think about Frog. What are some characteristics Frog had? Frog didn't give up, and Frog kept trying new ideas. Could we say Frog had a growth mindset? And Toad, remember Toad listened to the robins when they said give up. He kept coming back and saying, Toad, Frog, this kite's no good. Frog, we should throw this kite away. Frog, we should give up. And we had the 3 robins who laughed at Toad and told him to give up. So which of these characters in the story do you think it would be better to be like? Frog, who didn't give up and tried new ideas? Toad, who listened to people when they said to give up? Or Robin when they laughed at Toad? What do you think in our Wezzers? What do you think they would tell us to do? What is the way that's going to make us the happiest? Not trying, giving up, trying new ideas like Frog? All right, we want to look at our setting. Remember, our setting has a where and a when. Our setting is the meadow, and our when is day. I highlighted that, but I also added to it, it was a windy day. Would their kite have worked very well if it wasn't a windy day? And the last thing I'm going to look at is the plot. So there's 2 things involved with the plot. First, the problem. The problem, the kite wouldn't fly. How is it solved? How did they solve their problem? Remember, each time they fail, Frog has Toad try different things until they succeed. We know Frog has a growth mindset there. That's what we all want to do. Keep trying until we succeed. Whether it's reading, whether it's math, soccer, playing an instrument, whatever you want to get good at, just keep trying until you succeed. All right, I hope you enjoyed the story, and I will see you next time.